Hey everybody, Adamant here, aka Luke Tomasello. I just published all of the Angel Island source code, and it's the same source code that actually runs Siege Perilous and our test center and any other shards that we've worked on. So I'm going to do several videos that introduce developers into getting the files, getting it up and running right away. And so today we're going to talk about just building the server. And then one of the things that I'm making available here is both the Siege Perilous world files and the Angel Island world files. And what these are is a snapshot of July 2024, our shard, which means the complete music library is there, townships are there, custom housing is there, quests are there, everything is there except the players. The players and their account information has been deleted, but everything else is there. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. So you'll just want to go to GitHub. I use GitHub Desktop, but yeah, you'll just want to get the server and, for instance, the Siege Perilous world files, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to shut this down here. Alright, so here's my GitHub directory. I've downloaded all the things that you see above. So I'm going to save you the rebuild. I've already rebuilt it, but you're just gonna rebuild the solution, and that's where we are here. So we've just rebuilt it. One of the things you're going to want to set is the launch parameters. As I mentioned, the Angel Island core, it's the same core for all of our shards, whether they're the login server or the or Siege Perilous or Angel Island. So here we're going to launch as UOSP, Siege Perilous. We're going to use our SQL database for users' usernames and passwords. This allows us to share username and passwords across all the shards. I'll talk about that more in another video, but essentially, if you were to log into Angel Island, change your password, and then log into Siege Perilous, it would recognize your new password. So it allows you to manage these things across shards. And we're going to say no patching. A fresh install like this is with no world files, there's no need to patch. And if you use our world files, which we're going to do in just a minute, you don't need to patch because they're fully patched. Okay, so we're going to just set these command line parameters, and we're going to run it. All right, there's the server. It's starting up. Do you want to create an administrator account? Yes, I do. So if you can see here, the first line tells us we're running Siege Perilous. If this was Angel Island, it would say Angel Island up here. It gives you a bunch of statistics about, the time zone and where the map files are, data directories, things of that nature, just really administrative stuff. Certain features are disabled or enabled, like it's saying here, this is not a login server, this is not test center, not beta, etc. And so we're going to go ahead and create that administrative server now, administrative user. So if you're familiar with RunUO and probably all other servers, when you first run them, you're going to ask to be created an administrator account. On Angel Island, we introduced the concept of an owner. And the owner is one level above administrators. It basically has the super privileges. Some of the things were moved away from administrator privileges and given exclusively to the owner, like the ability to decorate the shard or wipe areas, whatever. So let's just go ahead and do that. So the first administrator created for the shard will be the owner. Any administrators after that are just regular administrators. We're going to create a test account. Password is test. And there we are. One quick note here. I am running a login server, which is again another one of the configurations of this main server. And so when I log in, it's 2593, which is the standard login port. You'll see here that the Siege Perilous is listening on 3595. That's because it's passed the login from the login server. Again, that's something I can cover more in another video. But yeah, you log into the login server, you select your shard from the shard list, and we'll see that in just a second. And then you get passed to the game server. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. So here we are. We're going to log in, and if you were looking at the login server, you would have seen some action on the screen here. It supplied this server list. We're going to go ahead and select Siege Perilous, and it's going to pass us off to the Siege Perilous server. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we are. See, got my IP address, tells me we're logging in. Okay, so there I am. I'm in this empty world here. I am access level owner, so I can do anything here I want. So that's it. That's pretty much how easy it is. You just download it, run it, and you're good to go. So now let's talk about the world files. So I wouldn't say necessarily that there has been as much work on the world as there has been on the code, but there is, 20 years of investment in the world as well. So I would recommend, using the world files that I'm making available here, and then you compare them back and trim them, any way you like. But it's certainly easier than starting from scratch. They're fully spawned with era accurate creatures, and if you're familiar with Angel Island and Siege Perilous, we have a music system, and we probably have 100 songs that were written by players, and that's something that is really pretty special, and I don't think you'd want to lose that. It would be very hard to if possible at all, to reproduce all of those. We also have custom housing and a custom housing area. Again, that would be hard to reproduce. The blueprints for the houses are still there, but they're already set up. There's about 56 of them, and so to recreate that whole area would be a huge task. So let's load up a world file and see what we see. All right, I'm going to log out. All right, let's quit. Stop debugging. Okay, so using one of our world files is pretty darn easy. So we're going to go back here to our GitHub downloads, and we've got Siege Perilous world files, and it's just a saves folder, right? That's it. Very small, simple. Copy it, go back here to Angel Island server. And if you've done any development, you know you have debug and release directories, all this stuff. And we're going to drop it right here. Okay, let's start it up now and see what happens. See what it looks like. Actually, that's not going to work because we need to bring it up as debug because I dropped that in the debug directory. All right, there we go. So each server creates some of its own data, like account files and its own saves, obviously, and some other log files and things, players logging in and logging out. So what you're going to want to do is create a separate folder on your server computer for each of the shards. You'll have a folder for your login server. I'll just use the name of my shards. Yours will be called whatever you like. A folder for Angel Island, a folder for Siege, and a folder for Test Center, etc. And then you'll run the same server in each of those folders, just with a different set of command arguments, so it knows what server to emulate. All right, so we're just bringing up Siege now. And again, we're going to create the administrator account. And just a note, I've configured my servers to never save when in debug mode because I'm often messing around with serialization or I'm in some intermediate state and I really don't want that saved. So that's why we didn't have that test account, because we can come up in debug mode and the server is not saving. Okay, so we are up. That's basically the message you look for. That's that's how you know we're up and ready. We're logging in. And there we are. So there's a new guild. Would you like to join the new guild? Well, not right now. Again, I'm the owner. And as you can see, these are all spawners and controllers and things we can talk about later. And there's actually a number of videos on my YouTube channel that describes controllers. That's a broadcaster. This is a gate to one of our current events. Serpent's Hold Pirate Run. So one of the things you're going to get if you use our world files is not only all the deco, leaderboards, guards, quests and events, but our complete music system. Let's maybe do that. Let's go take a look at. Go take a look around. Okay, so I'm going to go look at the custom housing area. Now this is a big area which has all of our custom housing. there's like 56 of these custom built houses, and they're really pretty nice. And the area is set up really well. And these vendors out in front of each house sell the houses. The players can buy the deeds to these houses right from the vendor, and they can place them just like any other house. They're not statics. They're base house. They have lockdowns. They act just like a normal house, but they were custom built by players and then approved by staff. And these actually go way back. I mean, these probably go back to like 2006. So these have been around for a long time, and players have been enjoying these houses for many years. Okay, so this is it. There are just a bunch of these. Like I say, there's like 56 of them, all kinds of different, lovely configurations. All right, so now let's go check out one of our events. Quest. This is one of our recent events, the Game of Thrones. It was pretty successful. All right, let's see. So it's a really nice area. It's basically is ready to go. I mean, you just open it up to the players, and it works. See if I can demonstrate our music library. So another one of the things that come with the world files is our music library of probably, I don't know, maybe 100 songs. I mean, quite a lot. So let's try that here. I'm just going to drop a house here real quick. So if you didn't use our world files, I mean, you would still have the systems to create and play music, but you would lose the hundreds of hours that were put into the creation of these. I didn't write them. I'm not musical, but we have some really expert, composers that do all this stuff. All right. So as you can see, there's just a ton of music. So that comes with the world files. So you have your choice of world files, none obviously, and rebuild the world yourself, or the Angel Island world, or the Siege Perilous world. I never moved the Angel Island song files from Angel Island to Siege, so there might be some differences there. I think our composers rewrote most of them for Siege, but there might be some differences there. A fun project would be to write an export utility to export all of them from Angel Island and import them on Siege or vice versa. One of the other things I left in the world were the townships of players. Almost certainly when you launch your shard, you won't want those townships there, but it's really useful for administrators to see them firsthand, to see what you can do with them, what they look like. So let's just take a quick look. All right. You might be familiar with this interface command, just lets you find anything in the world. Okay, so here we go. This is a township. So briefly, townships, you buy a house in UO, standard thing. On Angel Island, we introduced the notion of a township. So you would buy a guild stone, and then you buy a township which is linked to the guild stone. And once you have a township, you can start building outside of your house. You have a certain amount of area based on several factors, the size of your township. And our players have they have just gone wild with this stuff. This is not a house. This was one of the structures that could be created. All these pavers are done with townships, the little pond, really beautiful stuff. He's got a piano over here. That's clever. Okay. One of the nicer townships, to be sure. Let's go pop around and see if we can find another. There's another one. I think this is his neighbor here. Here's a small one. Here's another. So this player here, built they grabbed a little island, set up a township, and basically took ownership of the island with the township, built a dock, planted. The townships actually allow you to plant outside, so you can plant trees, like this apple tree here was planted. It's just pretty neat. So I think that's it for part one of this introduction. You get the server, and then you have your choice of world files, and you can be up and running, in a day, hours. I mean, it's all there and ready to go. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.